It's your boy Dot from Domino Out Culture and Entertainment. Culture links down below, Discord down below. All my links down below. Let's get into that video. So, this video is about developing bhakti and cultivating jnana or jnana. I don't know how to fully say it, but pretty much we're going to talk about what is bhakti, you know what I'm saying, why you want bhakti, how to cultivate bhakti, what is jnana, why you want it, how to cultivate it, and why you need both of them in equal proportion. Because look, see, bhakti is devotion. I already made a video about the power of devotion. Go watch that. But real quick, a couple of things about devotion, right? You need devotion, right, in order to stay emotionally connected to a higher power. You know what I'm saying? Having devotion lets you stay hooked up to that higher source. You know what I'm saying? If you want to stay in line with that, you need devotion, you know? But you can't have only devotion. Because with only devotion and all these lovely ass emotions, you can follow things blindly. Like there's actually a show called V, right? Which shows, it's literally a show about how reptilian shapeshifters come to the earth and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? And they trick the people and do all this shit. I'm only on episode 2, you know what I'm saying? But it's a dope ass show. And they were talking about inside the show how the aliens were trying to make them have devotion towards them. Because if you're devoted to these aliens, you don't just trust them, you start to literally fight for them. When you have devotion towards something, you do like literally anything for that. So when you have devotion to source, you do anything for source. If you have devotion to a demon, you do anything for a demon. And like, you know what I'm saying? So you need devotion for sure to stay in line with source. But you also need the second aspect, which is jnana, or I don't know, like I said, I can't fully pronounce it. But pretty much you need wisdom, you know? You must cultivate wisdom and knowledge, you know what I'm saying? Now the thing is, right? You can't have just one or the other. A lot of people are imbalanced. Some have neither, but some literally have too much just, oh my God, devotion. And like, for example, heavily religious people, they're like this. They have hella devotion, but they don't have the wisdom to understand the oneness between everything. So that like they'll demonize you for going against the religion and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So that's like a very heavy thing with devotion. Yeah, you definitely feel these sweet emotions, and you are hooked up to some higher power and stuff like that. But if you're not fully devoted to like if you don't have the full wisdom, and you're only devoted to like just a religion, then it's like when things contradict that religion, you fight for that religion. Like, no, if it's not that religion, no, this is not true. You know what I'm saying? Because you're devoted to that one religion. Now, if you're devoted to source, you know what I'm saying? You tend to be less like that. But then even then, you know what I'm saying? You can be hella devoted to source, right? And then you always try to see source inside negative beings. And because you do that, if you're too much on some, oh yeah, you're negative, but I still see the source inside you, they might fuck you up. That's why you need that wisdom too, that jnana, you know, that jnana. That jnana, you know, whatever, however you pronounce that shit, you need that shit, because that helps you be like, okay, I feel, that's like, okay, you know, for example, me, I love that Egyptian shit, right? I could feel emotions towards Horus, for example, you know what I'm saying? I could feel that part of myself, inside myself, right? But I'm not only going to say, oh my God, Horus is the only truth. Like, no, because Horus is just her higher self anyway, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I could still feel all that sweet emotion, but still no, that's not the only way. I could feel sweet emotion towards a negative being, but not have to fuck with the negative being. Like, I could be like, damn, I feel the source inside that negative being, but that don't mean I gotta fuck with you for real. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, and some people have too much wisdom. They can explain all this shit, but they have no feeling inside them. They're so intellectually advanced and have all this knowledge. They can literally explain what source is word for word, but they have no emotional connection to it. So in order to build devotion, right, this is with the whole prayer stuff. I made a video about that. Go watch that to build devotion, you know what I'm saying? That deals with prayer and all that shit, doing rituals and shit like that, right? For wisdom, that deals with studying and meditating. You would study like a certain spiritual system, something like that, right? You would meditate on the principles, you know what I'm saying? So like, for example, let's say you're trying to learn more about a god or goddess, right? For the devotional aspect, right, you just pray to them, you like bow them, do rituals for them, offer them shit, right? And the wisdom part is you actually reading their myth. So like with Osiris, right, with devotion, you pray to Osiris, you know what I'm saying? You do rituals for Osiris, stuff like that. But for wisdom, you actually read about Osiris. Here's the myth of Osiris, you know what I'm saying? And you actually try to understand the meaning behind it and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? So it's like you understand, holy shit, the story of Osiris is just a story about my soul falling to a low state of awareness and having Horus redeem it, have my higher self redeem it and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So when cultivating wisdom, right, you read the mythology and understand the mythology and meditate on that shit. You read certain principles and understand that shit. You could read a certain spiritual text, you know what I'm saying, and meditate on it to understand that shit. You know what I'm saying? So overall, you need intellectual understanding so that way your mind could be like, okay, this is this, that is that. You can understand shit intellectually. And you need devotion so you can have emotional understanding and emotional connection too. But you can't have one or the other. You're going to be very off balance. To become a complete spiritual being, you need to have both. You need to have both. You can't just be blindly devoted, and you can't just be overly intellectual with no feeling and experience inside of yourself. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I know several people that are like, I know both sides, bro. I know heavily devotional people who just be, they have no true understanding. They just feel all this shit, but they don't understand shit. And then I have some who could just literally give you a whole fucking book about spirituality, but they have no experience at all. Like they have no emotional connection to that shit at all. Like at all. It's like, goddamn, like you can say all this shit, but where's your emotional connection? Why don't you actually feel connected to anything? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, like there's people who can literally explain this shit so well. Oh, the spirit is this, but they can't feel the spirit. And then some could feel the spirit, but they can't say this is the fucking spirit. They just feel some shit like, oh, it's so good, but they can't say, oh, it's the spirit. So it's like, you get the point. It's been your boy Dot from Dot May Now Coaching and Entertainment. This was a short video, but I hope you enjoyed it. And my coaching is down below. And I'll catch you in my next video. Peace. Love you guys, man.